What is up, YouTube? Back in the garage at shop 2. This thing runs. Not well, but it does run. I spent some time on eBay. I ended up picking up a complete carburetor for the stock DeLorto 27 VHB A or whatever, 27 mil square slide stock carb for $60 plus shipping, so it ended up being about 80-90 bucks. But it's complete with a good lid. Now my hope is that all I need to do is take the lid off of the new one, put it back on there, and then be good to go. Hopefully that'll alleviate some of the idle issues with the enrichener off. If not, I might have to pull it out and drill that idle jet up a little bit, but shouldn't be too bad once we actually have the parts. It's hard to diag or do anything on that when the lid is broken and it's still sucking in air. So aluminum foil trick worked, it just isn't the right way, nor is it a long-term fix. But we're not talking about that today because we are back on the Softail. So I have this running and riding. I've been kicking this thing around for a couple days. Couple things I want to do, but we got it up on the scissor jack. Front end is free and floating, all sketchy like. We're gonna pop this front wheel off because this tire is toast. And I had a brand new tire at the shop, but I just threw out a ton of tires and had my employee fill the truck, and I wasn't really paying attention when I went through them and tossed them. So fingers crossed, I still have the brand new 21-inch tire that I ordered for this. I was looking around, I didn't see it. There's a good chance I might have actually recycled that when I did the truckload of tires from the other shop. We powder coat wheels all the time and people leave tires, so usually once a month I gotta do a full truckload of disposal. And yeah, if I did that, I'm gonna feel like quite an idiot, but one way or another, I'm gonna yank the wheel off. And I know I got a couple options. I can do an old school ribbed Avon style 21. I do have that one. It's old, but it's better than what's on there. And I got another wheel at the shop that's got a 21 on it. It's just, I gotta take two wheels apart, which kind of sucks, but let me get you guys set up and we'll blast this wheel apart. Hopefully this bike doesn't fall off the lift. I say that every time and it hasn't happened yet, so maybe that'll work. I don't know what I need for all these stupid little center caps either. Shouldn't be much, but it's got all these little set screws in here that hopefully I got Allen keys for. Never used this kit yet. There it is. God. Almost good on the first one. All right, Jack Daniels set screws are off, so we're good there. And now we got one leg is a fixed cast piece the axle goes through. That's this one over here. Then we have the other leg, which is pinch bolts on the cap. The only other thing I gotta worry about here is the speedometer, but we will keep on jamming here. I don't know how the speedo is laid out on here yet. It does work and it is accurate though. So we'll try and keep it that way. And I'm really nervous about this tire situation. If I threw out a brand new tire, I'm gonna feel pretty stupid. But I wouldn't put it past myself either, so that is okay. We need their 1/2 inchers over here. I think I have a drill somewhere. Okay, so our axle nut's free. Now when I drop this, just a little pinch bolt cap over on this side. Guess I can bring you guys over here too, see what I'm looking at. There's 2 pinch bolts on the bottom here that hold this lower fork cap on. Drop those down like so. Make a pile of our hardware, just like that. Now, we just drive the axle through. I don't know if I have a dead blow. I got a mallet. just like that. Pull our axle through, and I'm gonna keep all the spacers kind of oriented the proper way. So I got one skinny spacer over here, axle nut, speedo, then the other spacer will stay in the wheel. Wrestle the speedo free. Make sure the gasket stays on for that. Then we just cheat this out. And that's that simple. So now we got our wheel ready to go, and I think I'm just gonna throw this right in the truck and drive back over to the shop, because I was really hoping that wheel was up here and I don't see it. So good on me. Yeah, I'll throw some stuff in the truck and then we'll run over there, and then I think I have everything set up on the tire machine to make that go pretty quick, but we'll bring this old school tire, worst case scenario. Hopefully it kind of rolls straight. Can't be any worse than it already is, right? So we'll throw these in the truck. Man, it's bright out here. There's one, and then we'll meet you over at the other shop. Back at shop one now. Got the tire off of the Softail over at the other spot. I thought I lost this. I did not. Couldn't find it. Just looked upstairs. I was bringing down 2 wheels to replace that one, but I had it buried, so did not recycle the brand new tire. I didn't think I would have. I feel like I would have noticed the tags on it, but now we are good to go, so I don't need to run older tires than what's already on here. So if you notice, you haven't been here in a while, but got this all cleared out again for the lift area. Moved the black workbench over to the other shop. Tire machine, everything is gone from over here. Reran airlines. It's all the new blue stuff. Here's the new tire section, because the giant compressor's gone, which means I can work over here semi-comfortably. Still need to drill into the concrete and anchor the balancer, but this is going to be good to go. Got a fitting on there to run to the air hose. I have one more T-drop that I'm going to put in right here to airline this direct. Might as well go upstairs while we're here. Massive double tanks, air dryer, everything's hard lined from here, so this is why I've been so busy lately. We got airlines run through, split both of these 80-gallon tanks. The compressor can breathe up here now, and it's way quieter downstairs. So that's all plumbed in and working. He's blasting right now, but we still have 120 pounds of air in the tank. So let me set this up, and then we'll break this tire down. Got the Schrader valve tool here. This might take me a minute, just because I haven't used the tire machine in a while. I usually don't necessarily even use the machine to do the tires on spoke wheels, but I do use the jaws. I don't know where my other tire machine Schrader valve tool went. Oh, I see it now. Too late though. So, I'll use those there, drain this. Going with the vintage style on this one. Whatever. I think it's gonna look good with the wide glide. And then just gotta snug these down again because it's set up for tractor. Should have had my drill. The problem with having 2 shops, I don't have all my tools in one spot anymore. It's kind of scattered between the house and here, and there's a lot more running around. If I had more money, I would just set them all up. I never have to do that, but not made of money. Okay. Kick some of this shit out of the way. Need a 2x4. I think I left all my new tubes at the house too, which means I gotta be delicate with this one. break the bead. We got a Schrader valve over here that we pulled out already. We need to take the bolt out. A lot of you guys probably don't have the luxury of a tire machine, so I apologize if this looks way easier than what you guys are doing in your home garages. Or bring it somewhere and have it mounted and balanced. Okay, now the issue with tire machines is these jaws clamp the rim so far, you don't get a whole lot of room in terms of trying to get the wrench in here underneath the bead. And if you're more cautious, like if this was a customer bike or something, I would be approaching this a little bit differently. I wouldn't be banging the spoon right on the rim like I am right now. Trying to get this tube free. Hate 21-inch wheels. Ah, screw it. We got a tire machine, might as well use it. Okay. Now we got that out. Now you're going to dig the tube out from the wheel. And we'll double check to make sure I didn't puncture this. There's a good chance I did. See how we did. Don't hear any leaks. Might be all right. With the old. did okay. All right. Got lucky. Okay, so now we'll grab our new tire, cut all the plastic tape off. What do we got here? A Shinko E270. Grab that one. Grab some lube. We'll get this thing back on here. Getting the bottom bead on first. Yeah. Now, I like to get this out of the way until we get the tube back in. Come on. Whew. All right, so I got the valve back in. Get the nut on here and started, just to keep it kind of in place. Doesn't have to be fully tightened down yet, but you don't want that walking or moving too much on you. So you get pinch flats in my experience. Perfect. And now we just walk the tire back in. I do recommend you replace the tubes if you're already getting the tires done. Get them together. Now, since this is a newer, softer tire, let's see if we can do this without anything else. Where the tire machine really comes in handy. Now we just fill this thing up. The Schrader valve is out of this, so when I pull this off of here, it will drain all the air out, but that's what I want to happen. We got about 40 pounds in there right now. Gonna let that kind of set up, make sure everything looks proper. Drain it flat. This does, it lets the tube expand, deflate it all the way, push it around. Do that twice, then put the Schrader valve back in. If this was a different style tire, I probably would go through and change it, but on something like this, there's no way it's going to make any sort of difference. Also, if you're using those tire irons on your nice chrome wheels, I mean, these are rusty and beat up, but get some of these, they clip right on there. And then we'll give it one more go. Throw our shredder valve back in. And we'll set this up to actual tire pressure spec. 41. We're not going to run it that high. Just like that, we're about done. So now what we're gonna do is put my little chrome cap back on here. I'm not doing a balance on this either. It's got some weights and things, but make sure your shredder valve's tightened. Throw your nut back in. Check it for leaks real quick. If it's leaking, you'll get some air bubbles around here. I don't see any yet. So it should be okay there. Dropped ya. And we'll do one more here. Also gives you a nice quick cleanup. So, that's done. We'll see you guys back at the other shop. We'll put this thing back on and then take it for a ride. Okay, we are back from the other shop. Tire is mounted, ready to go back on. So, pretty much exact same thing that we just did in reverse. The only goofy part really is going to be just lining up that caliper right there. I don't know if you guys can see that. I've got you right in my way right now. But trying to get this guy back in can be a little snug, like that. Caliper's in. Then we just go through and basically reverse install. So on the other side, you got your one wheel spacer that presses into the wheel. It's good to set those up first so you don't forget them. Same thing on this side. We got the speedo that we got to jam back in. That one can fight you a little bit. Bring you guys over here. Sometimes it's a better idea to get that seated and in beforehand. I did not do that this time. This will go in just like that. Press that into the seal. The Speedo is also your spacer here, so. Come on now. Then you got this little tang right here on the Speedo drive. There is a notch in the rotor to account for that. It won't go in unless you line that up proper. Then we got the wheel spacer here, like that. And this is jacked up to about the exact height that you really want it at. So when we go to slide the rest of this stuff in, put our axle back in, not a bad idea to re-grease this right now too. Keep moving, you guys. So wheel spacer into the wheel, second wheel spacer in front, and we'll jam the axle through. Might have to shimmy it a little bit on the other side, get it close. All right, almost there. What am I hitting? It's got to come back just a little bit, like that. And sometimes you got to adjust the bike up or down a little bit, but there we have it. Get your cap. They are marked. There's an out there, so out goes towards the outside of the bike. Washer, lock washer, nut. On both. I'm not going to fully tighten these. I'm just loosely setting these on here for now. Then we'll put our jam nuts on the other side. Just like that. Now our axle's back in, wheels back on. Still sitting pretty centered here. The axle nut goes back on. We'll start pulling this in. Tighten up your jam nuts, or fork nuts rather. Just like that. Final torque there. I guess we can put these stupid little caps back on too, huh? Quarter turn on the set screw is all that takes. And if those fall off, that's even better. There we have it. Wheel is back on. I'm gonna crank this up a little bit on the lift, just make sure everything spins free and proper. Floating free off the ground. Reseat your brake. And we are good. Let's drop this off the lift and I'll go for a quick ride. Time to get some knees in the breeze. Softail is running perfect. Ripped this thing around with a new tire. Everything's working good on this. Got that all solved, and then decided to pull out of my shop like an idiot, and I officially blew up the trans. So we got second gear and third gear, no reverse, no first. You can hear it grinding and banging around in there, so we're gonna limp that back to the shop. And then I gotta grab a transmission, and that's gonna be the next couple days. So, update you when I get back to the shop. Oh, we might have caught reverse. Nope. Okay. Push of death, Jake.
Yep.
Let me turn the wheel a little bit. Man, it was running so good, too. So I think the clutch actually got stuck. Who needs first and reverse? I think I should have enough to swing that. Or do we just keep going right down the hill into the lake?
Oh, yeah.
Well, shit. We're gonna try a second, third gear drive out of here, I guess. My bad. So sad. We topped it off with oil and everything was good until I decided to do one takeoff. Should have known better. Just about done with battery on the GoPro. And I just exploded the trans on my truck, so it's been making gnarly grindy noises. I've been putting off doing a trans swap for quite a while. Finally ate it, so I pulled out of the shop in front of some traffic and took off, and it exploded first gear and reverse. So I still have second and third. Luckily, my employee was going back to the second shop location to grab some stuff that he forgot. He's following me back. I'm gonna park this over at the shop and try and get this all sorted out, because she's not happy. I thought we had it all fixed. We topped it off with some fresh fluid. All the noises went away, and then I started beating on the thing, and there goes first and third, or first and reverse. So, next couple videos will be a transmission swap and a 64 F100. We'll update you guys when we get back, because this camera's gonna die really quickly while I listen to the shrapnel from inside my transmission grind around while we limp it back. Oh, I feel so bad for this thing. We were definitely doing the walk of shame home. The gears are screaming at me. Second and third still engaged. First and reverse, I'm assuming they're linked on the cluster. Gone. Oh well. It's been a good run. I've had this trans in here for 3-4 years, and hasn't let me down since. I knew it was on its way out. I was hoping to stretch it a little bit farther than we did. Rest in peace, Ford 303. I killed you. In all fairness, it was on its way out before I launched it. Not really launched it, but before I hammered it getting out of here. And I just made it worse, so kicking a dead horse. But in classic Ford fashion, it got me back. So we'll get this here set up to go in on the lift. I think we should be pretty close to pulling this right in. This will go up in the air. That's what we're messing with on the next couple. And hopefully it restarts and pulls right in. It's just a transmission. And I have one on the bench at home, so. Quick little update. Sad, but works. Catch you on the next one.